I am big. I am so big. I am big. I am so big. I am big. I am so big. I am big. I am so big.
Introduction. Hey, everyone! It's Kiba Snowpaw here, your friendly, furry male ice wolf from an ice world. Today, I want to discuss a topic that has been causing quite a stir in the Steam community. I recently engaged in a debate with a user named 2V after stumbling upon his profile, which was filled with explicit furry content. Now, before we dive into this discussion, I want to make it clear that I am a supporter of 18 games and content. However, I believe there are certain concerns when it comes to explicit content being displayed on profiles without any sort of regulation. Let's explore this conundrum together. Key points. The issue at hand. What's the problem, you might be wondering? Well, 2V's profile showcases explicit furry content. And while it may not explicitly violate Steam's guidelines as long as no one reports it, it does raise some important questions. Steam's guidelines mention that content that might offend or harm community members, including sexual content, should be avoided. So, does having explicit content on profiles align with these guidelines? I believe it's crucial to reflect on the potential impact such content can have on the Steam community. Minors on Steam. One of the main concerns I raised in the debate was the presence of children aged 13 and older on Steam. Countries have specific laws prohibiting the exposure of minors to 18 content. While it's true that users can adjust their settings, it's also important to acknowledge that children might manipulate these settings or access accounts belonging to older siblings or parents. Shouldn't we ensure that Steam remains a safe environment for users of all ages? Content preference settings. 2V argued that his profile adhered to Steam's guidelines since all his pictures were marked as sexual content and only visible to those who have their account preferences configured to display such content. However, Steam's guidelines also emphasize avoiding content that may offend or harm others. It's crucial to remember that these settings can be altered easily, potentially putting minors at risk of exposure to explicit content. Comparisons to ENSFew games. During the debate, 2V compared his explicit profile content to the presence of ENSFew games on Steam. However, there are significant differences between the two. ENSFew games on Steam must initially present a SFU image, and subsequent explicit content is typically limited within the game. On the other hand, explicit profile content is immediately visible when visiting a profile without any restriction or warning. Conclusion. In conclusion, my intention behind raising this issue was not to undermine the furry community or express disapproval for 18 content. I believe that explicit content should have its place, but within appropriate boundaries. As Steam users, we should consider the implications of displaying explicit content on profiles and its potential harm to minors and the community. While Steam's guidelines may not provide a clear-cut solution, it's essential to uphold a responsible and respectful approach when it comes to sharing content on this platform. I hope my fellow Steam users will engage in a constructive conversation about this matter and express their opinions, whether positive or negative. Let's work together in finding a solution that keeps our Steam community safe, diverse, and inclusive. Remember, it's all about respecting each other's boundaries and making Steam a welcoming place for everyone. Keep gaming, keep creating, and let's keep the conversation going.